that you could find time to arrive here and spend 1 hour with me and the story of ITYT, a little bit of the story of Petra. I'm very happy to have 2-3 men here. I do a special welcome every time for men because I think it's very important when we are speaking about the women in tech that we need to have men in this topic, because it's not just about women. It's about diversity and the team which are mixed, and we need women here in this discussion. So happy for this. So I'm the founder and actually the CIO. It's so very nice wording, CIO of ITYT. ITYT is a quite small organization here in Slovakia working with girls and women in the field of technology. What is our aim? To motivate them, to allow them to have some IT education, and finally to help them to get a job, because this is a final goal for every one of us, that the woman can be working in IT companies on IT position. Not in IT companies doing the marketing, but for me, my dream is that they can have really technical positions and be really on a good place. ITYT was founded in 2012, so it will be 7th anniversary this year, when the number of girls studying ICT faculties was about 3%. I will return back to these numbers, but so a little bit of my personal story, even if I think that there is nothing interesting in my personal story. So my background, even if you think that I'm from IT, I'm not. I'm a full economist. I was studying economy in high school, at university, and also my PhD degree is from economy. It's really strange that now I'm working a lot with girls and I'm pushing everyone that you should study IT, when me personally, I have nothing with IT. I have had here one slide. I started to describe the slide that Petra and IT, and it was empty, completely empty. So I erased it because Petra and IT, there is nothing. Why I have studied economy? Because my parents told me that I'm a girl and economy is the best thing a girl can do in the world. Every time I will have a job when I will study economy, and this is the best place for me. I can be there. And I think I was satisfied, all the life when I was studying, because I couldn't see any other options I can do. I didn't know what I'm missing, or if I'm missing something, I was just happy there. And I think the best things economy brings me, it was French language, because at the high school I have started with French language. After then I was studying in France, I was working in France, and even my husband I have met on the French lessons in French Institute in Bratislava. So I think the French language is the best thing that I can have from my economic study. It's why I'm speaking so strange English, because I have passed all the time in France and not in English-speaking country. So I was very strong focus on marketing and PR. So fun when you can see it on paper, but so hard to be good and to work there. With some couple of friends from university, we have had a small company. Also now it would be the startup, but in this period it was a small company, which have made some very nice bankruptcy, because we have been too young, too optimistic, and we wanted to earn too much money. So this combination with the combination of no experiences caused that even if we had good ideas, we couldn't survive for a long time. So after some period in Paris, in Slovakia, working on different positions, having different kids, and passing some time on maternity leave, finally I started to work for Faculty of Informatics and Information Technology here in Bratislava. I started to help them with the PR and the communication. I was on my 3rd maternity leave with small kids, and I have nothing to do with 3 kids at home. So I started to help them with communication, because they have no idea what does it mean doing a communication or public relations at the university. It was a very nice job, I think, because it was quite funny to explain to everyone how they can communicate with the medias, how they should translate the technological wording into the human language for being understandable. And in this time I could see, after a couple of months, I could see that finally there is no girls there. was exactly the period when this faculty and also others have had about 3 to 5% of girl students. And if you are not there, you can't see what is the difference. But suddenly, if you start to think about it, you can see that really there is just men still there, just men, and still the men. So when I was just thinking about it, and I was discussing with the vice dean at the faculty, he just told me one day that, can you do something with this? So easy. Can you make something for having more girls here? So, and this is how ITYT started. Because firstly I was just thinking, why is this that the girls don't want to study ICT? Is there any reasons, or it's just I don't know why. So we started to prepare some small workshops, and I would like to move to my other slide. When we started to do the first workshops, and we started to go to high schools, it was usually this kind of picture we can already found there. This is not from high school, because I could see that there they have an Apple laptop. On the Slovak high school there is no this kind of hardware, but this was another workshop we had in. And when you are going to the high school, or maybe you have daughters or a nephew studying there, in general, on high school, on computer science lessons, you have majority of boys and there are some girls. In this age, boys often have more experiences with playing games and spending the time with computer. So every time when they have received any task to do, usually the boys finished very quickly, and it took more time for girls to be in. They need to ask more questions, and they need to find more reason there. And this is the main problem, because finally they could see that, oh, I'm the worst here. I need to ask 3 times the same question, and everyone is looking at me that I'm really stupid. I'm really not good enough. And this is one reason why they will never select technological study or ICT study, because the first idea from the computer science lessons is that I'm the wrongest, the worst here. It's too complicated, finally very boring for me, and I don't like to do it. So with this feeling, we started to propose the IT workshops to high schools, and I was really curious if some girls will participate, because when you are starting to do something with this target group, and you know that this target group don't like the topics you would like to work with, it's very complicated. So we discussed with the school in Bratislava, and I think it was third or second workshops. Finally, we have had a girl from Martin and Handlova. They arrived, they traveled 2-3 hours for arriving to Bratislava, for spend 2 hours at the workshops, and traveling 3 hours back to Martin or Handlova. So I could realize that, wow, we have girls who are interested in tech, but they do not have any opportunities to have more information. They do not have any opportunities to learn more as they have at the schools. So I could see that we have a really huge group of girls which is absolutely not interested in tech, and we can spend a lot of energy by persuading them, but also we have a small group, but we have a group of girls who are interested in. If you can see a little bit, for giving you a little bit of numbers, the last statistic from Union European showed that in Slovakia, from total number of ICT people working in ICT, we have 9.2% of women working in ICT in Slovakia. We are the last country from all 28 countries with this number of girls, the last one. And now the 10% of girls, this is a result of activities we started to do, because at the beginning it was really 3 to 5, now it's 10 to 12. So we are happy for this result, but still a lot of work to do. And I think this number you know all. Actually, we have about 1 million of vacant computer science positions in Europe. In Slovakia, well, once I can read about 10,000 missing professionals, once I can read at about 7,500. So we have really big number of positions which are missing people, and this small dot, this is a number of graduates per year from computer science universities in Slovakia. So, and from this number, you have the number of 10% of girls. So this is so small group that if I can select once again the study, I think I will go study computer science, because I will be absolutely happy because everyone will take care about me. At least I hope so. So we started to work with high school girls. Primary, at the beginning we worked just with the girls from 15 to 19. The main goal was to motivate them to study, to select ICT faculties for study. But after a couple of years we could see that even if it's very nice work, it's very hard. It's really hard. Imagine that you have girls in 17, 18 years old with all the ideas in the head that this is not good, I would like to be the medical doctor, I don't know what, and why I should study ICT. So this is very hard to work with, even if we could find the way how to approach them. And we have a lot of girls participating in our activities, and also a lot of girls we can really bring to ICT. But still, it's very hard. And finally, we could see that the main problem starts earlier, when they are quite free and they start to have their own ideas, what is good and what is bad, what is red and what is pink. So we started to work with from 8 years old girls. This is absolutely fantastic job. I can tell you, if you will participate at some kind of workshops, they are so happy, so nice. I like a lot this picture when I can see the girls really concentrated on the jobs they are doing, and it's every time like this because they can discover something completely new for them, something completely strange, but they can see absolutely the results what they are doing. It's amazing, really perfect. And the last group we are now working with, it's my age group. We have had a lot of requests from the women yet working after graduation on maternity leave and so on. Why ITYT wasn't created 10 years ago or 20 years ago, that surely they will select another type of study. And if we can help them to go to the ICT, if we can find some way how to help them. So we started to think what we can do, and we have created the Software Tester Academy. I know that it's not something very funny to be software tester, but for a lot of women, it's really the first step how they can be a little bit in connection with IT. Because if you have no IT background, really no, for you it's very difficult to arrive every evening at home, do your dinner and do some homework with kids, and at 9 open your online courses of Python and do your Python lessons or something different. So it's very difficult to find a way how to get into, how to learn, and how to find a job without experiences. So we started to work firstly on software testing. We have had the first group of women. We have taken 12 women. After 2 months 2 months time of lessons, because the lessons takes twice per week, 3 hours, so it's really demanding. So from 12, 2 of them tell us finally that they don't like to do testing. 1 get pregnant, and the 9 girls, women, we have had 1 partner, and they have had a lot of job opportunities. So finally, all the 9 could be hired as software tester. It was for us, oh wow! It was really something that you can see the real impact of the things you are doing, because you can really help them to change the daily job. You can help them to have a better job. Imagine that we have had 1 girl from Veliki Kratiš, it's 200 kilometers from Bratislava. She was working in a pharmacy. She traveled twice per week, 200 kilometers to Bratislava for having a course lesson, 200 kilometers back during 2 months. And finally she left pharmacy, she moved to Bratislava, she started to work as software tester, and now, as I know, she's working for this company in Vienna because they have moved her for some client in Vienna with well performance indicators and I don't know what. So really, women have the logic inside. They like to do the math and everything. They just need to have an opportunity how to discover it and how to be moved somewhere. This is the group of the small group of from Data Academy, because after the Tester Academy we have added the Data Academy. You can see that we have the young girls, but we have older girls. So, and what I liked a lot that if I'm thinking about this woman and about the companies, they are still looking for new graduates. They are going a lot of activities at the universities, trying to find new students and so on. For me, these ladies are absolutely perfect as new employee, because they don't need to discover the world. They are not looking who has a nice kitchenette and the tulivac in a pink color. They don't need to have very nice spaces. They just need to have a good job, and they just need to finish the job, doing it very well, and going back to home because they have kids at home and they need to work with the family. So here are some numbers. I think Faculty of Informatics was the worst with the number of girls, because this faculty is known as quite difficult for IT. So it was very stressful for girls. So they have had a 3%. Faculty in Žilina and Technical University Košice, it was about 5, and now actually I think they are at 10. And I know that last semester somebody from students department from Faculty of Informatics sent me the statistic that for the bachelor degrees they have had 17% of students finishing, and even this guy was really shocked. That he told me that, Petra, look, I have 17% here. I think we should have some problem with metrics, or I need to check the numbers. Even they don't believe that they can have so big number of girls. So per year we are working with approximately 2,000 girls in this time. This number is growing really rapidly last year, because from last year we have much more. Our team of IT is really bigger as before, and we are doing really a lot of activities for high school, primary school, and also major women. And these numbers I like a lot. Even this is just the numbers, but these are the numbers from a statistic office from 2017. This is whole number of girls aged between 8 till 14, 15, 19, 20, 45. I know that this is just a number, but imagine that we can take at least 10% or 5% of these girls, and we can motivate them to go to tech. It can help them to go to tech. Imagine how Slovakia can be nice and happy. We can be a small Switzerland with the most big number of women, girls working in ICT. And I'm sure that we can have this number. We just need to work on it, and we just need to do it. When somebody is asking me if we are in ITVIT having some cooperation with the Ministry of Education, it's for me every time a good joke, because my answer is every time that well, I prefer to spend my energy and time on working something with the results or reasonable. And so I prefer to work because I can see the results. We are receiving a lot of emails from girls, parents, and women that we have really helped them. So for me, it would be very nice to cooperate with Ministry of Education, and I hope that we can do something with them. But it's a waste of time, I think. So I think what we are doing, the three things, we try to motivate, encourage, and retain. This last thing, it starts to be very important for us, because for us it's not enough to get the girls into IT. We would like they stay there. So we need to work also with companies to create good conditions for girls and women to feel welcome here, to stay here, and to attract other girls, because this is what we need. We need young girls arriving here and see other women who are absolutely happy with the job they are doing. And I didn't check my time. I was too short, or
I think it's enough. Do we have other questions?
No, it's Slido,
Okay.
so we can take some from the audience.
Any question? Maybe we can open now the audience for the questions.
So, who yet participated at IT activities from you? Ah, nice. What did you do? You have
With Girls' Day.
perfect. We are preparing a new Girls' Day.
We know.
Yes, I know. Yes.
What kind of percentage would you like to reach, girls in IT schools?
In IT schools, I would like to have 30%.
30?
Yes, and in working in ICT field, 40.
40?
Yeah, because I think we can really reskill a lot of women yet finishing the schools, but they can really get into the IT. So it's why it's 40. I think that it's not for 2 years. I'm sure that it's not for 2 years, but I'm sure that we can have it. Okay. Yes.
I saw that you have like 3 specific groups you are focusing on, and you said that the first one, I mean the younger one, is the most like you see the effect there, like some kind of motivation. What kind of activities you are doing with them?
With them, we are doing mostly 2 different things. We are doing a lot of Scratch. I don't know if you know this language. It's a coding in blocks. So we are not typing the codes or numbers. You are just moving the blocks. Do 3 times this and move there, and so it's quite easy for them, and they can really see the results quite quickly. So it's very nice, and everyone can learn it very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And also we are doing a lot of Lego coding. We have some kind of 5 minutes robot, so they are building very quickly one robot from Lego, and after then they are coding some movement, how they should react to the sensors and so on. So now they can see also quite quickly that if they are doing some task, the robot can do it. So this is very nice. Yesterday we have had in IBM the workshop with TGBots.
Mm-hmm.
And the girls have prepared the TGBot and so on. We didn't do the coding for a time, but I hope that we will move also to the coding and not just the decoration. But this is also very nice.
Mm-hmm. Is there any possibility to help you? I mean, the IT like a volunteer? If somebody will decide?
Yes, sure. It's why I'm here. No, I'm joking. We are doing a lot with companies because we need every time to have some partners, as for example the lectures. If you have some volunteering lessons, hours, you can either going to make some decoration in the street, or you can teach the kids in Scratch or something else. So it's completely up to you. And for us, it's very helpful because actually we are on the level that the number of requests from schools is higher than our capacity we can go there. So we have a quite long waiting list of the schools. They are waiting, we can arrive there. For example, at Kecmarok, if somebody from you is from Kecmarok, we will be happy to train him in Scratch, and we need to go to one school in Kecmarok for having a Scratch workshop with girls. Mm-hmm. So this is very nice for us, and if you are thinking about the donation of your 2% and you don't have where to go, you don't know where to put there, we are also on this list. Or for us, what is important to spread ideas. I would like that everyone has a similar idea that the woman in IT, this is something really good. And I think other women needs to feel your support, that you are working in this kind of company and you are sure that this was a good option for you. So if you can discuss with others, it's up to you to motivate the younger. Or if you personally can't tell something, you can at least advise them that there is another organization working with them.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a little disappointment when you said, it's nice to cooperate with the education ministry, but then it's wasting time. What made you say that? Did you try something with them already and you were not successful?
Exactly with the concrete department and ministry, no, but we try to prepare some projects together with them or working with other officers at the ministry, and every time is for too long period with a very, very small result. And what we need, that the Ministry of Education start to think how they can change our education system, because the activities as we are doing, there is a lot in Slovakia. Everyone is doing some changes in education system, but we as NGO, we can't change all the system. And if everyone will do some small changes, it will be nice, but finally it will create a big mess. So I think the main problem of ministry that there's now nobody who can really see the big picture, what I would like to change in the system of education of Slovakia, and to do this change, because the most difficult is to do this change.
And they don't look at the proportion of men and women in certain industries.
This answer I would like to have, because I don't know what are they looking. So they have the results, they have the numbers, they have a lot of answers from parents, industry, kids. They can see that the system and the level of education is slightly going down, and still nothing happens. So I don't know what they are doing really. But I'm upset also as you. So if next time you will be discussing with the Minister of Education, please tell her that we need to do some changes.
Thank you.
For the women above 20 years old, I saw a slide on that. What do you do? Do you give some kind of training, like in language, like JavaScript, or some language training?
Well, actually we have this long space of activity academies on testing, data analytics, machine learning, automation testing, and Python. This academy took every time 2 months, and after that we have small motivational talks and presentation about AI or SQL. This happens, for example, 4 or 5 hours. Or we are doing Excel. This is quite basic. A lot of people think that I don't need to do Excel, but finally they can see that they really do nothing from Excel. So some long and also short. So I have sent you the next Excel workshops.
And where do we get these trainers from? Are they like men or women?
Usually men.
Men?
We are still missing women there, but I think 80% of our lecturers are men. Yeah.
Do you also work somehow with the parents of the girls? Do you need to explain to them why this path is good for them, or?
Yes, as my parents, even now, I think the majority of parents think that being a doctor, a lawyer, or economist is the best way for girls. Because we could see that for a lot of parents and also for girls, when you would tell them study IT, it means that I will be coder. They can't imagine nothing better. They are just thinking that I will be sitting all the day and working on my keyboard, and I will be alone here without speaking all the day with somebody. It's so sad. It's so. After then, often happen that we are working whole year with the girl, and she's so motivated and she's so good in IT, and finally we can see that the parents persuade her to study something different because they do not have enough information. So for us, I'm every time joking that the target group 1 girls, but target group 1B or 1A, it's a parents, and now we have prepared the material for parents. I have bring you to show something. So we have a material for parents. We started to organize a discussion with parents, but it's very good. But I could find that the people who will arrive to join us for this discussion are yet on our side. So they yet know that it's good to be in IT. So we need to reach those who are against, and it's difficult. So the parents, teachers, kids. So we have so many work to do for 20 years at least.
And in these workshops with the girls, you focus only on the hard skills like coding languages, or also some soft skills?
Both, but also concerning coding, what we are doing, we could see that coding for them is something too virtual. If they are just typing something, and even if they can see the results on some side part of the screen, for them it's still something virtual. So what we are doing, we are starting with some hands-on activities. As for example, we are working a lot with microbytes. I don't know if you know it, it's a very small board, yeah. And for example, we are coding the LED diodes. They can code some lights, and after that they can sew it into the clothes or something like this. So like this, they can touch it, they can see the results. It's doing the noises and some lights. So for them, it's something they can see, and even if they can take it to the school and show to others that look, I was doing this. This is very good. Or we have been doing a lot of workshops in networking. We have cutted the ropes and making the connection, the internet connections, and using the server. What does it mean? Or opening the notebooks. So something they can touch. This is very important because they can feel it. Because actually the problem why girls don't like IT is that in this time the IT has moved to something very, very virtual. Even if you would like to repeat your phone, before you can really open all this box and see what is inside. Now if you will take your iPhone, you can't even open it. Or you can open it, but you can see nothing there. So they are missing this feeling that I can touch something, I can see what is inside, I can repair it, and I can understand what is inside. So a lot of, and for concerning the soft skills, we have did some kind of how to prepare your curriculum, because it was for the girls finishing high school, how to be prepared for some job interview or this kind of activities.
After they finish the workshop, do they get some kind of certificate or something so they can show to the future employee, like, look, I was doing this course or something?
Yeah, so we are doing a lot, even if we know that this is mostly something for making their pleasure, because if you have worked 4 hours with SQL or Excel, your ability to work with this maybe it's not so high, but they have this feeling that yes, I have finishing this, I was working with Excel, and at least when I'm in my school I can show to my teacher that yes, I have did this. So this is very important. And also for mature women, they like to have this kind of certification because they can prove to the employer that yes, I'm working, I was working on myself, I did some kind of effort for being better.
Yeah, that is important, so they can show.
Yes, sure. And they like a lot doing pictures with certificates and so on. It's very nice.
Can you manage demand for your courses? Is it still available?
Well, actually, for high school, also primary school, and it depends of topic. It depends of age group. For this kind of academies, we still have the demand is still higher than the number we can accept. For the high school, if it's during the school time, the interest is every time very big, because this is in school time, and for us it's a secret gun how to be close to every girl, even for those who don't like IT, because those will not participate at any activity after school time. So when it's after from 3-4 afternoon, this is really, you can see that there are girls who are interested in IT because they are motivated to participate. So this is different. And for example, for the primary kids, it's very difficult how to manage the communication, because if you have 8 years old girl, you can't just, she doesn't have Facebook, hope so it's quite easy, it's quite difficult to reach her via social networks. So you need to bring this information somehow to this girl, but in the same time you need to attract the parents, because we need these parents agree the girl participate at something, and often we need these parents bring her somewhere. For example, at IBM yesterday, close to Eurova, it was quite difficult for this kind of small girls to arrive to Eurova, to these big buildings, and find somewhere IBM. So yes, but we are working a lot for. I think for us it's better to have a higher interest as lower, because like this you can still work with them and propose them in other workshops.
Maybe it's not a question, but rather a comment from me. Honestly, I was not aware of IT lighting. This is the first time I'm.
Yes, it's why you are here. It's very good.
It's very yeah, I'm gonna look around and maybe spread the word, so it's really good.
And you can be maybe our lecturer.
Your
Just
man
look.
supporting us here.
Yes, we have on our webpage some part dedicated to the lecturer who would like to help us. There is description, what does it mean for you, what is the time dedication, how it's happened, and so on. So just, I think it's just fine to read it and see if it's something you would like to do or no. But I think I am really happy to have men here, because what I hate to having every time the discussion that there is not enough girls and women in IT, leaded just by women. Imagine that you have still 5, 6 women sitting there. Oh yes, we have no good chances. It's not good, and we are not equal here. So I think we need to have a man who will arrive there and he will just tell, we need girls in tech. Everyone will change ideas. I hope so.
We have one question or comment on Slido. I don't think that girls don't like IT. Isn't it more that they don't even realize that girls can do CS too? Everywhere you look, IT guys are always men. So maybe this is about if girls are even aware that there are some options for them to join IT, or I don't know if the person who submitted this is here. Maybe you could add some more comments.
I agree. They do not have enough information, but that you need to have someone who will give them this information. So it's why we are showing all the possibilities they can do in IT, because IT is not just coding. So we have prepared a lot of brochures, explanatory materials. We are doing a lot of discussions with them, and so on. Because you need to start somewhere. They will not change their opinion just from one day to another. So yes, it's absolutely right. They are not there because they don't know what they can do inside, and they are scared that this is not for them, because nobody told them that you are welcome here and you can find a good job there. Imagine that, for example, we are discussing a lot with girls, and they will tell us, I would like to travel in my life, so it's why I will study languages and I will be a translator. So finally, she's studying 5 years languages, but she really she has no other knowledge. She knows just the language, and we try every time to tell her it's very important that you know English, German, French, and other, but you need to know something other. You are missing something professional, and if you would like to travel, go to study IT, because this is the best way how you can travel, because you can have different projects, different clients, and so on. If you will be just translator, I did once translation from French in France. It was very hard, I can tell you, that you need to be very focused. And during one short discussion, I didn't well understood the meaning of the phrases they wanted to translate. So I was asking if they can explain it to me. And the guy told me, you are here just for translation, you are not here for discussing. So it was my last translation experience. I have told them I will be never doing this. I will never just repeat what the other are thinking. I am not as bad as for this, just translate what the other's ideas. So the girl often doesn't have enough information what they can do. And really, if they think about the medias and think about the cinematography and everything, if there is somebody in IT, usually it's a geek, not very nice. It's a real nerd with big glasses, not very. You are good, okay. So, but yeah, but think how medias are describing people working in tech fields. Do you know somebody? Do you know somebody nice, attractive, and really fashion, and the girl working there? No, there is no one like this. So it's why you should study some fields where you will be sitting just the boxes from pizza with men's with white socks and so on. So this is I know that this is a cliche and the stereotype. But you can believe me, it's still like this. The girls still think that it's real life. And also the parents think that it's real life. So you need to change this. You need to spread what you are doing here. You need to discuss what is your daily job, how you can feel it, and what is giving to you, what options you have, what opportunities. It's only with you, the people working here, we can change all the environment.
Are you collaborating with some companies in a way that these companies maybe later offer an internship for the girls or so on?
Yes, we are doing this. Well, sure, we need companies. We need companies for showing girls what you are doing, but we need also for having some resources and some money. So we need to cooperate with companies. Once or two during 2 summers, we started to do the summer internships for students, girl students from IT faculty, but it was very difficult because the companies think that it was too short period for accepting these students, so it was quite hard. But we are having a lot of good cooperations and a lot of weak cooperations. It depends of company. It depends of people in these companies. Because if somebody who we are in contact with, if these people think that it's not good and it's not interesting, they will never work with us and spread ideas and so on.
I'm literally one thing here. I'm literally the grumpy guy in glasses, sitting at the computer and coding all day. Only I'm also a girl. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Perfect. If she's happy with this, it's good.
Okay, no more questions? Okay, thank you, Petra.
Trippy, thank
so
you.
much. Well, I would just like to add my 2%. Being a woman in IT myself, one thing that I have realized is when I started coding and doing this automation and everything, I realized that we women, we are really afraid to fail. We want to be perfect at once. We don't want to try multiple times, and that's the area where we want to improve, because men, they like to jump on unfamiliar territory, and we women, we are afraid to fail. I think if we have that kind of attitude, then we can do really good in this particular area. That's just my 1%. But thank you, Petra. I think you're doing a really great job teaching girls how to code and encourage women how to be in IT. So thank you so much, and thank you all the girls and the men who have participated today. Thank you all. Have a good day.
Thank you.